Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WIP Wednesday. I'm Liz Berry.
Hi guys, I'm Joey.
We took a break last week because I didn't really have that many whips to show you guys. So we're back this week and I have a few more whips to show this time. So we also have a little bit of an announcement at the end of the episode. So let's start showing the whips so we can get to the announcement. So I have this doll here that I recently just finished. This is the one that's going to be Alice eventually, but now the doll is finished, so I started working on her wigs, and so now I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys the stories of the various wigs. So you can kind of see the wig cap straight through the hair, and that was the main problem with this wig. And the other problem is how thick the wig cap is. It adds a lot of bulk.
To the head,
exactly. Yeah. So, this was the first wig. Yeah, let me show it to you guys on the doll. So this one is kind of like, I don't know, it's not terribly impressive just because of how much you can see the wig cap underneath it. But if it had more layers of hair, it would probably look a little bit nicer. And here's the second one, which this one was just so bulky that it's almost even hard to get it on the doll.
Right.
A little bit because of how much bulk the inside of the wefts. You can see how much harder it was to get that on the head, and it's not even completely on. It's barely kind of hanging on a little bit.
Right.
And that's just because I actually put elastic in the band of this wig cap, so it just stays on a little easier because of that, but it does not really fit. It's just and it makes her head look
a slightly
huge
smaller
too.
head.
I did a better job of adding the hair to it and making the wig cap fit the doll, but again, this one was one that I didn't make it out of a smaller yarn, so this one came out with a thick, just a little too bulky.
Right.
And then the other thing that I did with this one that I kept accidentally doing with the early wigs was I was putting this elastic in to make it stretchy, but then I would undo that when I would put the weft in and make the weft accidentally too tight, so it actually doesn't want to stretch just inside the wig. So this one kind of came out bad because of that. So that was something that I had to take into consideration when I was making the tutorial. So that's how that one looks on her. And I like how the color came out a lot nicer with this one, just because it's like, I guess it looks more realistic and less like cartoonish than this super bright like yellow one.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a believable blonde.
Yeah, exactly. This one actually came out pretty nice, but it was just an experimental wig, I would say.
Right.
Because this one actually is the first one that I made that isn't with a crocheted wig cap. It's a sock. So you can see the sock material inside, and it's actually really, really stretchy, and that worked really, really well. So even if you didn't like crochet at all, you could totally do the same thing just with a sock instead of a crocheted wig cap.
Ways to repurpose lost socks.
Yeah, that's exactly what this was just a sock that had a giant hole all down the back.
Or holy socks.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, this one actually came out pretty nice. So the thinness of the wig cap makes a big difference toward the head not looking gigantic.
Right. Unless you wanted to purposefully make the head gigantic.
So this one's all crochet, and I double layered the wefts at the middle so it covers the wig cap a lot nicer. You can still see it if you lift it up, and I guess I could put more wefts under there, I guess.
Right.
I just don't want to because it takes forever to do this.
Right. Yeah.
So,
again, wigs, super time consuming.
Yeah, wigs take a long time, or they take longer than you would expect, especially if you're making them from yarn, because obviously the hair needs to be, like, turned into this hair texture instead of it just being like this already, like it would be if you, like, just bought doll hair or wig hair. But yeah, this is the final wig, or the final-ish wig. The other thing that I kind of want to do is I want to make another one that looks the same, and then I just want to curl it and see how that looks on her, just to decide kind of if I want to make a curly or not curly hair doll, basically. So this is the wig that I'm working on right now. It's a real mess right now currently. I actually haven't even finished it. I still have some ends of the wefts that I have to sew in still, so here's one of those. And also, because it's not brushed, the wefts aren't really, like, they're not, like, swept in any particular direction yet. So once I actually finish brushing out this wig, I'm going to go ahead and trim this front area and give her some bangs. And I'm not sure if I want to curl this one or not, but I made another one that's similar to this that I did curl. This one is in a bit of a lighter color scheme. I was kind of going for kind of like a strawberry milkshake kind of feel with the color palette. So this is kind of the cut that I'm going to give that other wig. I might not curl the back of this one or of the other one that I just showed you guys like I did with this one, but I want to give it that same straight bangs look. And I kind of wanted to give this kind of a strawberry raspberry kind of color palette.
Yeah, it's got some
like a ripe strawberry. Yeah,
there.
Exactly. Yeah, all of these different super dark shades. Like this is the auburn color that I was thinking of using originally, but then I just thought I wanted it to be kind of, I don't know, like a little bit more, I guess, supernatural than just auburn, I guess.
Right.
I kind of wanted to give it
dipping more into some fantastic colors.
Yeah, exactly. So I gave it some. So I gave it these deep pink magenta-ish highlights and some bright cherry red highlights.
And I love the difference in texture that you can see from a profile, like when it changes from the straight to the curly.
Yeah, and I just love the way that the curls look with this color palette, because it just reminds me of an out of control bramble of berries. So that's kind of why because I think I'm gonna actually go with this girl being a strawberry girl. And also, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up is I've been showing you guys a lot of fairies and bringing up that I wanted to make these fairy dolls for the most part. But I think I've kind of just been limiting myself with the idea of just everything has to be a fairy. And I like the idea of making a doll that's themed with strawberries, but I don't feel like it has to be a fairy at this point.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of fairies.
You don't
already
have to put wings on it necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. No. I just kind of want to make a strawberry, I guess I don't know, for lack of a better term, nature spirit. I don't know what else to call that, a sprite or something I guess a fairy, just not with wings, right? Kind of the same.
It's pretty much the same thing.
But yeah, I wanted to make her a strawberry dress and little vines and stuff and because I've just done so many flower fairy things that I kind of just want to do something different.
Right.
And I just really liked this hairstyle, and it just made me feel so I guess inspired to build something themed after strawberries, just with this color palette, I guess.
And Dee asks, what type of yarn is best to use to get that beautiful shiny look?
Oh, that's a great question. The ones that I've been using a lot are probably the most easily accessible ones are Karen Simply Soft, or baby yarns, ultra soft yarns, especially shiny ones. One that I found recently is I think it's a Michaels brand. It's Soft and Shiny yarn, I think is what it's called. But I think it's basically an off-brand Karen Simply Soft. But you really do get that gorgeous, this one is that brand of yarn. This one is a mix of a couple of different yarns, and actually the process of straightening or curling the yarn does tend to give it a bit more of shine to it, no matter what kind of yarn you use, really. But the best one I would say is Karen Simply Soft or other soft baby yarns.
Yeah, and you can see definitely with the blonde wig and this lighting right now, it has quite a lot of shine.
Such a sheen, yeah.
Almost,
actually,
almost a near glare coming off of it.
That's another problem that I ran into when I was making the tutorial. Actually, I had to switch my lighting halfway through because I blinded myself.
I know.
When I went to go edit the video, it was oh no, I can't see what's happening. So I did have to refilm a few things for this tutorial, and I'm still not quite finished with that. And another thing that I did that just for fun is I ordered some actual doll hair wig wefts just to see how it compares with the look of it and how shiny it is, and how the thing that I love about yarn hair that is I've heard better than doll hair, but I haven't used doll hair, so I don't really know, is that it has so much more posability. You can really make it look like it's flowing in the wind and stuff like
right,
that.
you can kind of, it'll
which,
stick
like,
to where you want to pose it and tame it.
Yeah,
or I imagine
exactly.
actual doll hair wefts are
They're
more
a lot
likely
heavier,
to just
yeah.
like fall down straight.
So some of you guys might have seen the Amethyst and Pearl doll that I last made. That one was in my Steven Universe Crochet Dolls video. I showed you guys all of the ones that I had just finished making. And I made those quite a while ago, so I'm just trying to do a new design, like just based on the designs that I've been making lately. And one thing that I've never done with any of the crystal gems, except for the recent Steven and Stevani that I made, was make them with like wearable and changeable clothes, and that's what I'm working on now. So I've been working on this body type recently, this kind of more like larger, curvier body type. And this is the first time that I've done that in a way shorter stature. It's kind of the same shape of doll, but like way shorter. See? So it's just kind of cool seeing how it works on a smaller scale. So like I whipped up a couple of sample wefts, I guess, just to test out different like yarns for for these two Steven Universe dolls. And I whipped up this one for Amethyst, and I kind of like what it looks like. It's this super bright silvery purple, and with the skin tone, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, that looks pretty nice.
So this is actually like a silver, but with one thread of the same yarn that I used to make Amethyst put in with the silver wefts. And I'm thinking of maybe putting one other shade of silver to kind of give it a little bit more contrast of the silver, because it's such a white silver, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
so I kind of want to get, like a slightly darker shade, but just a single thread of it. And then maybe I was thinking of maybe trying to find a slightly lighter shade of purple than this one instead, just because I feel like when I put this on her head, like maybe you can't really see because of the brightness, but I feel like sometimes it just almost makes me think, oh, you can see the wig cap through that, but then it's like there is no wig cap. That's just like because it's the same color as
the same color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like maybe it would be nice to try to find another shade of purple to use for that, but I'm not sure if I can, so we'll see how that goes. The same situation with this doll, except this time it's Pearl, and this one is a little silly, because this is the first time.
If you're not
I've
familiar with
experimented
Steven Universe and Pearl's
Here's
physique,
Pearl.
she's kind of the tall, pointy, lanky type.
Does she fit in the frame? She fits in the frame.
Oh yeah, no, she fits.
Yeah, this is probably the smallest body doll that I've ever made.
Yeah, that's pretty thin.
Yeah, she's really small. I think she's only like 14 stitches wide at the biggest.
Right.
I'm not sure actually. Maybe it's like 16, something like that. But it's like less than 20, I think, at her widest point.
Right.
So she's quite small.
In yarn terms, she's like skin and bones.
Yeah, and then I also
there's like barely any room in between the yarn
seriously.
body and that.
Yeah,
and
I had to use a
skeleton.
chopstick to poke the fiber fill into her. Which usually I don't have to do that for the torso, but her torso is about the same size as most of my doll's arms.
I know.
But I also made this nose on her for the first time.
I think that came out really good. Actually.
Really? I wasn't sure about
like...
it, but I've been looking at it all day, so that's kind of why.
No, I think it came out nice.
Yeah, I think I want to like maybe do a little bit more shaping of her face, and then also obviously I have to add her gem up here.
Yeah.
So I think that'll help a little bit, but like I think I kind of want to shape the nose so it's a little more thin, maybe, I guess.
Right.
But I think her profile looks pretty great. And of course, when I add the hair, it'll look a little better. So I did the same thing with Pearl that I did with Amethyst, where I was trying to find a shade of yarn that worked for her hair. I think I did 4 different colors for this.
Trying to get the perfect ratio.
And I think I actually got it.
Yeah.
I actually like this one better than the other one. But here it is. But yeah, it's like yellow and coral and pink and light yellow, I think, that I mixed together.
A little hard to
pick up. Yeah,
it's
kind of hard to pick up the nuance. But here, let me show you guys with it on top of Pearl, just so that you guys can see the contrast that it does on her. Because, like, I think that color is, like, pretty much exactly the right color. like maybe the camera glare kind of doesn't show it to its like it doesn't do it justice, but I think I got that color dead on. But I love how it looks to have different shades in the hair to add highlights. So like, I don't know, I feel like that was exactly what I needed to do to get that color. Because it's such a weird color, you know, it's almost like a soft peach yellow.
Right.
So that's all of those that we have to show you for right now. Let me do, there's one more whip that we have to show you in association with the announcement. So let's switch for now. We stopped doing our live stream pattern things for a little while because we were going to move, but that ended up taking a little longer than
we're
expected.
kind of in moving limbo right now. It's
bit.
really hard to get a place in the area we're looking for, so we have like a quarter of our stuff in boxes. It's just been sitting around because we're like,
some of it
we're
is my
ready
yarn.
once we're able to pounce on something. But till then, we've just kind of been in between.
So since we're in moving limbo, we're gonna try to do one more live stream pattern. We're going to do it on Sunday
It's going to be
next Sunday, not this Sunday, next
Which
Sunday,
I believe
which is the 29th.
Is it? Yeah, I'm gonna double check. Excuse me out of stream for a second.
If my math is correct, it's the 29th.
Correct. 29.
Yep, it's the 29th. I could have just clicked on the calendar.
I know, right? I had to
computer,
do so much extra work.
Yeah.
All right, settle back in.
Yeah, you didn't need
Hello
to do
again.
that.
29.
So yeah, we're going to do a stream on the 29th. We're just going to be playing Overcooked. For those of you guys that don't know, this is a cooperative, like I guess real-time like puzzle game kind of.
Yeah,
sort of,
it has to do with
like
like resource and time management.
Yeah.
Basically, you're two cooks that are running around a small kitchen, and some people are in charge of chopping, and other people are in charge of getting ingredients.
You guys will see when we play the game.
Yeah,
but
it's tons of fun.
So in keeping with the usual tradition that we've had of having a free pattern on Patreon when we do our live streams, our live stream patterns, we're going to, I haven't finished writing it up yet, but the rough draft pattern that's going to be free this time is going to be this semi-finished cheeseburger that I am in the process of creating. I still have to do half the meat patty and a tomato and the bottom bun, but you guys get the idea, right?
Yeah, that's cute.
But by the time we do the stream, this will be written up in rough draft form and on Patreon for anybody that donates. So, yeah, if you guys are into that, you guys should check out Patreon. There's some links in the description that you guys can check out. And yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those were all of our whips. That's our
We're
going to be doing a gameplay stream on Sunday the 29th.
So yeah, if you guys have to, oh yeah, when are we going to do that? Did we decide what time?
Oh.
We didn't decide what time.
Stay posted for what time, so we haven't quite figured out.
If you guys don't follow me on Facebook
details.
or on Tumblr or any of that, you guys can also find those links in the description. I will definitely post when we're going to be doing the live stream on Sunday at that point. And also, when this live stream goes public next Wednesday, I will put the time in the video.
Yeah, we'll have it figured out by then.
So yeah, even if you guys don't follow me on Facebook, then I'll also put that in that video, so watch out for that. And I think that's all we wanted to say this time.
And that should be it. So thank you so much for
Thanks so
anyone
much for
that's joined us. Thanks Digo
I was going to say the same thing.
For interacting in chat. It's always nice to know that people are out there and wanting to interact with us and appreciate the time that Liz puts into all of this.
You're putting in time too.
I'm just here hanging out.
You're handing me the whips.
Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in this time, and we'll see you guys for the next whip stream in 2 weeks. So
till then, bye.